where JJ Weedy or anybody else is talking. Mexico State football coach about playing for the conference championship in November. No, I don't think it is. I think it's like a first ever. It's bonkers. Forward to talking to him at 12 at 7:15. Was last night more about Justin Fields or Joshua Dobbs?
Like last night was more about Joshua Dobbs.
Okay, yeah. Because they lost.
Well, they lost, and that is 8 turnovers in 4 games.
Yeah, it's a bad
Josh Dobbs. They won some games, but you're not going to win many games when you turn the football 4 times. As we discussed about other teams, and for Minnesota, this was they're taking that next step. This is a playoff team. Yep. Josh Dobbs' story is fantastic, and it was good. He came in and he beat Atlanta, won another game, but that offense was not good last night. The Bears weren't good either, and that's why they're a team that the week prior, lost the 12-point lead in the final 4 minutes to Detroit, and then almost lost that game last night. But it was the turnovers for Josh Dobbs not being able to end drives, and you know what? It came down to one pass, and Justin Fields made a fantastic pass at the end of DJ Moore. Field goal range, game over.
I think it was more about Joshua Dobbs too, although it was a lot about Justin Fields. You know what I thought it was a lot about? And I didn't think I'd say this at the beginning of the season, the Bears defense. Because I thought they made plays. I thought it's
a lot of tip passes.
Yeah, I thought they made plays. They held them to 73 yards rushing. They made trades to get guys on defense. That's Matt Eberflus's thing. I'm not sure what they're doing. I honestly have no idea what they're doing as a franchise. I don't. I don't know if they know. They have the Carolina pick, which is going to be number 1, and then another really high pick. I don't know what they're doing. But I thought Justin Fields had made some progress. And yesterday, I thought he missed a lot of open receivers. Like stuff that a third year, he's third, right? A third year NFL. Look, everybody's going to miss a pass here and there. I get it. But I thought he missed a lot. And this is climate controlled. This isn't weather. This is, I don't know what point you're a veteran quarterback. I thought there were just a lot of that offense probably should have moved a little bit more than it did yesterday. Like if I'm them, I got a real tough decision. And while yesterday morning I was leaning, maybe Justin Fields is our guy. Now I'm kind of swinging. Maybe he's not. And we got a 6-game, 7-game, 8 and 4 is 12. So they got 5 left to figure this thing out. Because I thought it was a lot about him too.
Absolutely, he's playing for his Bears career, but just there's always those moments because he'll make plays, get out of the pocket, that final throw. And even if it's not consistent, there's always a couple things that you've seen. You're just like, this dude has it.
Are moments enough? Well, because of the inconsistency?
First year that they actually were like, hey, we're trying to take steps forward instead of the last 2 years.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
They traded away everyone last year.
They went out and got a good receiver.
They got him number 1 receiver, making a ton of plays.
Yeah.
And so that's...
So you're leaning to keeping him?
Yeah, I'm leaning to keeping him. And then like left tackle, best edge rusher, or even another wide receiver and see what the next year's like.
Where are you? Because I know you were big on him going into the season. This was going to... he was one of your big breakout guys going in.
Yes, he was. I think he seems to be turning a corner. The start was terrible, and we all saw the worst of it. But I do think he's playing himself into a position where he gets another year. I think so much has to do with the coaching situation, though.
So if they have the first-round pick and Caleb Williams is sitting there, or Drake May, or whoever they like, they take a left tackle and a defensive end instead of a quarterback, which I'm okay with in many situations if you're convinced this is your dude.
Well, it all depends on the coaching situation, because I'm not entirely convinced Eberflus is there.
Oh, I'm pretty convinced he won't be.
Right. So who comes in, what their styles, what their background is, that's going to be very telling. Because if it is Harbaugh, what if they trade down a few spots to get J.J. McCarthy?
Do you think J.J. McCarthy's the answer? I know Harbaugh might, but do you think he's the answer?
I haven't seen enough to really have an answer to that. I do know, though, if you come up with your college coach, you kind of have a step ahead. You kind of know his system. You're going to be ready to play from day one.
You like him?
I think he'll factor into that mid-first round mix.
But if you have a chance at the top, if you're going to take a quarterback, why would?
And I'm not 100% sold on Caleb Williams, Drake May.
I'm right there
Like I
with
think
it.
they're the
Yeah,
best
I'm
quarterbacks
right there
in the
with you.
tracks. But we at some point in time we have to learn. We've been there, done that.
I know,
And just taking one of these guys at number one
because they're there.
isn't going to mean that that's a better option than Justin Fields.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Just because they're there, and I we have this conversation. I think I lead the charge on this every March and April, that we overvalue quarterbacks because of need. You know, in how good is this guy or that guy? And it's so easy in retrospect, right? But you've been the guy, and I'll give you a lot of credit. You were on Lamar Jackson when he went late in the first round. You were on Deshaun Watson. You know, guys who fell, JJ's liked a lot more than some of the guys who have been at the top. I was never in love with Bryce Young. Now, I'm not ready to tell you he's a complete bust, but I'm going to tell you he isn't nearly what they thought he was going to be as the number one pick.
You know what that situation is?
What's that?
And I was talking with some people last night about it, and it clicked. This is CJ Stroud, Bryce Young is Justin Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa 2.0. And it was that first year where everyone's like, this is the worst decision ever. You took Tua over Justin Fields.
Yeah, Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, excuse me. What a disaster.
That's interesting.
Because remember that Tua's first season,
That wasn't
Brian
good.
Flores and Ryan Fitzpatrick was coming in to close games, and it was giant question marks.
That's a really
No,
interesting
it's
comparison.
good, right?
Yeah, that is. That's got me thinking.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that there's always a chance to still get it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
turn it around. Yeah, Tua's certainly done that. That's a very interesting comparison.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that either. That's actually really good. All right, we're here for you on the NFL. We're going to go through a lot of what happened over the weekend. I know we didn't do a lot of that yesterday. I want to get into a little bit more. I had more reaction to yesterday's conversation with Danny Gonzalez than I've had since anything we've done since, I don't know, last Monday when we had Jana Raymer on. you were in Cancun. We had the 13-year-old young lady who, I don't know, did you hear that at all? I was out in Arizona when she won the Nike Cross Regionals and beat all the best in the Rocky Mountain region, the 8th grader. And she was, I don't know what I got more reaction to, Gianna Raymer or Danny Gonzalez. But, you know, I had a lot of people, hey, can you send me the link? How can I listen to it? I know Sean Ryder from the Journal used a lot of the stuff in there. And we can get into that. I got more correspondence from you still that we didn't get to yesterday if you want to have that conversation. And we'll start forwarding the story. Thoughts on some of the names that are out there, JJ, as far as who's next, what's next for Danny. And you know, people say, well, who cares? He's not here. You know, he's still, you know, a Borqueño, a UNM alum. He's a Valley High guy. Like, he's still one of y'all, one of us. And we are going to care about him. So we'll watch what goes on there. But when we come back, I'm really looking forward to this. Saw Jerry Kill when I was down in Cruces. I went to their game on Saturday past where they beat Jacksonville State to get their 10th win of the season. New Mexico State will play Liberty on Friday for the Conference USA Championship. Their head coach is Jerry Kill. Looking forward to what he has to say about Liberty, the chance to play for a championship, and how his team turned the ball over 4 times and still won. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Sal? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated,
Rip,
plaster, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this,
you shouldn't be driving.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How many driving that man home, huh?
I got this, White. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need White's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, White.
Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving the Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Particular show for 15 and a half, so this is our 16th football season. Been in this market 27, so it's my 28th football season. I've never had a conversation in November about New Mexico State playing for a football conference championship, and I'm looking forward to doing it. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. I was down in Las Cruces on Saturday for the Aggies' 20-17 victory over Jacksonville State. J.J., I used to do the TV games. I used to go down for Aggie Vision. I did a lot of games in November, and I would drive down there, and there were a lot of empty stadiums. I mean, literally maybe 1,000 people. By far, the biggest, most energetic crowd I've ever seen there in November. The Aggies are 10-3. They've won 8 in a row. We'll play on Friday night in Lynchburg, Virginia, against Liberty for the Conference USA Championship. Their head coach is Jerry Kill. He joins us on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Jerry. How you living?
Oh, just up and early this morning with our staff and, preparing for Liberty and seeing if we can find a way to get another one.
Well, you got one with 4 turnovers. You know, you've talked so much about how if we don't turn the ball over, we have a good chance to win game. You found a way turning the ball over 4 times. It shows a lot about this football team, and they'll just find a way. This isn't some sort of fluke, man. 8 in a row. This is a good football team you've got.
Yeah, we I hope we got all that out of our system, because that can happen. And with having 4 turnovers in the game and winning is unusual. But matter of fact, I hadn't had it happen very many times, but we certainly can't go to Liberty. We can't turn it over at all. And so we had to take care of the ball better, make better decisions. And the other thing is, that's probably, I would say, including Auburn, is the most physical defense and physical team we've played all year. And but it shouldn't have been that close if we'd done what we were supposed to do.
You get an Ethan Albertson field goal in the last play of the game to win it. Diego Pavia, with I think Bryce Childress was his only catch, the big play on that drive. But I thought Diego was really, really sharp in the first half. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know if you saw something on tape, but he gave the ball away a few too many times.
Yeah, he did. But I will tell you that we got some people banged up, and he's one of them. And, we played 13 games right now with not much of an off week. We've been off about 3 days, maybe twice. And so he's banged up a little bit. And, him and Eli, we got some guys that, like I said, Jacksonville is physical. And we've had some guys playing with some different things that, have caught up with us a little bit. So we got to find a way to get practice done and stay healthy and, hopefully get their legs and feet back and go at it one more time and play the football we need to do, and then get a little break. Because, right now when you play 13 games, that's a long time.
He's Jerry Kill, New Mexico State's football coach, with us on the Sports Animal.
Jerry, speaking of being physical with your team, the last 2 games, you held Auburn at 65 yards rushing, Jacksonville State's 85 yards rushing. How important is that to control the trenches on defense?
Well, it's everything right now. And, we're playing good defense. We're playing better defense than we have all year. I think our game plans have been good. Our tackling's gotten better. We're more physical by far. I think we simplified things on defense a little bit, so the players wouldn't have to think as much. And, I think we made all the right moves there. And we're just playing right now. We make, they were in bad positions on Saturday. And, really defensive side in the kicking game, at the end of the day, closed the game out and won it. And that's part of it. I mean, defenses had their days too, so good teams, pick up each other. And but the defense is playing at a high level right now, and they're definitely more healthy than what the offense is.
When did you see the defense really to take that turn and be able to take that step to respond the way they have, as you mentioned, when they get put in tough positions, a quick change scenarios? Kind of what point did you see this defense taking that next step?
I think the last 3 games, probably last 3 or 4 games, they kept getting better and better and better. And, our secondary has gotten better and better. Some of the personnel, Reggie's gotten better. Miles has set in to be one of the best safeties, I think, in conference. I mean, he's really done a heck of a job. I think the addition to his confidence, Reggie, both those guys transferred in, are playing. That's helped our defense tremendously. Torrey Union coming back, and then we're shuffling guys in and out, and our run defense up front has been very good, and people are getting where they need to be. So as long as we play good, hard-nosed, disciplined defense and tackle well, and we'll have to tackle that back or 2 from Liberty a lot better than we did last time. But I think we feel a lot better about our game plan and things of that nature. It's just how we're going to hand up physical.
I don't think people realize this, Jerry. Your defense led the conference in scoring defense. You're the number 1 scoring defense in the league, and number 2 in total defense, giving up 14 more yards a game than Liberty. I don't know that people saw. When did you see this coming? Is it athletes? Is it scheme? Is it because we talked a lot about offense at the beginning, and you said I got some players now. We got better athletes on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I think our coaches are doing a good job, but you can't go a horse race without the ponies.
Yep.
And we got some athletes that it's taken them a while to learn the system, but they've learned the system, and I think we finished number 2 in total offense and number 2 in total defense. And I'd like to say that's all coaching, but Liberty's number 1 in both those categories. Yep. So you really got truly that nobody can argue about it. We beat Jacksonville. We done everything we needed to do. And, at the end of the day, you got the 2 best teams playing for the conference championship. And, we're going against a team that's, they're good. They're ranked. They got all the resources you ever want in college football at this level. And they got good players. And, I think right now, they're a better football team than they were a year ago.
He's Jerry Kill, New Mexico State's head football coach. It'll be the Aggies and Liberty Flames, 5 o'clock our time, CBS Sportsnet, for the Conference USA Championship in Lynchburg, Virginia. So you're going to their place. They are the number 1 rushing offense, the number 1 rushing defense, the number 1 offense in your league, the number 1 total defense. And you're number 2 in most of these categories. So it is the top 2. They beat you earlier. Does a game earlier in the season, does it matter? Does it play into it? It was back in September. It was early. Do you feed off of it? Do you look at the tape a lot, or is it 2 totally different teams?
Well, I think we're different. I mean, we had 3 turnovers, or we would have been in the game. But we had a crucial turnover. We had a touchdown, and Diego underthrew it, and the guy picked it, and that changed the whole flow of the game. But, you go back and look at it, but, they've gotten better. We've gotten better. We're going to be similar on both sides of the ball. We'll know each other better, both. So it's just going to come down to whose day it's going to be. You play the game of football and you roll out which kids are going to be ready to play and which ones aren't. But in this case, I think they'll all be ready to play. It's just, physically, with the schedule, playing that many games. It isn't, so much anything else, but you play that many games and, we ask a lot out of Diego and he's not going to, you're not going to run out of bounds and all that stuff. And up front, but they're the same way, I'm sure.
Hey, Jerry,
everybody's got problems.
How about your kicker? We don't talk about kickers a lot. I talked to Rocky Long years ago. I said, so many college football games come down to 3 points or less. I think it was like 37% at the time. I said, do you go out and scholarship a kicker every 3 years? Because I think it's so important to have one you can rely on. You went down. I was there. The wind was blowing about 20 miles an hour, and you set him up, and he drills a game winner on senior night, his last game in that stadium, to win a game. And he's been doing it for you all year. And you obviously had a ton of faith in him because you didn't try to get any more yards.
Yeah, I mean, he's been 3-time Conference Player of the Week, Special Teams Player of the Week. He kicked the ball out of the end zone most of the time. When he doesn't, he gets in the right place. He's healthy. He wasn't healthy a year ago. And, he's just played outstanding. Our snapper has played outstanding. Our holder's been good. Then you look at our punter. I was looking at his stats here lately. The last 4 games, he's had 6 punts inside the 10-yard line. Yep. And 4 inside the 5-yard line and 2 down on the 1-yard line. So between the kicker and the punter right now, if you look at it, they may be the 2 MVPs of the team. Because we're making the offense go in the long field when we punt it, and then we're kicking the ball and making long field goals and also kickoffs and things of that nature. And I would say they're the biggest, getting our punter was one of the biggest moves we've made here, and having him here already.
Hey, Jerry, what is the key when you're going through the win streak? You're winning big time games. You won at Auburn. You're playing for a conference championship to be able to kind of enjoy the moment, but be focused enough knowing that it's not done and there's always that next game coming up?
Well, the kids get to enjoy it that night, and we don't enjoy it much at all. We enjoy it for, some of us stay up till 2 in the morning, enjoy it, and I go get them some ice cream or, go talk tomorrow or whatever. But, you just don't get to enjoy it much, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then you're on to the next one. And certainly this one, we had a big win, and getting 10 wins is hard to do anyway. And the way we did it, but you were already thinking about Liberty. I mean, that's the game you want. That's the conference championship. It's Liberty, and it's a game you got to have to win the conference. And so not much. You just don't get to enjoy much, and the kids do, but the coaches, you just you enjoy the moment. That's out on the field after you win.
Right.
And then after that, you enjoy it for about 2 hours, and then you go, we're back in here early on Sunday, and already, trying to put a game plan together for Liberty because we're on a short week.
Yep. All right, lastly, how about the atmosphere? I said earlier, I used to do the Aggie Vision games on TV. I would go down there in November, and there was nobody there. There was 1,000 people in the place. I've never seen a November crowd like that. Obviously, winning does a lot. I thought the atmosphere down there on Thanksgiving weekend with the students away, the last game of the year, was the best I've seen it there ever. I don't know what your thoughts were on it.
Well, I haven't been here and so forth, so I can't really comment. I can just comment on what I've seen, this year. And the more you win, the more people come. But we've had some people that have been watching for years that are coming, and we definitely, if you look at Thanksgiving and you look at some of the other games that are on TV, we certainly, drew tremendously. And they had huge difference in the game, on fourth downs and stuff like that. They made it loud. They made it tough, I see this. I see our program growing, and we're not even in the third year yet. So, I like, the direction we're going, and we just gotta, you asked me when I took the job, we're gonna have 10 wins the second season. I'd have told you you're crazy, So.
Well, you're not done. You got at least you got 2 more. You got this one and a bowl game. You got a championship game to play, and then a bowl game. It was great to see you down there on Saturday. Good to see you smiling, and congratulations on the win. Good luck and safe travels to Lynchburg. We'll talk to you next Monday. Bowl selections are on Sunday, so we'll do this on Monday next week, and we'll know where you're going and talk about this game and then and your bowl matchup. Appreciate the time, Jerry.
You bet. Sounds good, and thank you.
All right, be well. Jerry Kill, the head football coach at New Mexico State. You want him to enjoy it. I will tell you, I saw him smile after the game. I did see him, but it's about 2 hours.
Coach's mindset.
Yeah,
they always tell you that the losses hurt more than
no doubt.
The wins feel good because you're always on to the next one. You're worried about not just that, like not enjoying something too much and then losing focus, not being ready. Just the way they're wired.
Yep. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in on that. When we come back, some of the candidates for the UNM job. You can respond to what you heard from Jerry Kill, and let's go through some of the names that are out there. And there's probably names that we don't know about, but what makes sense, what doesn't. We'll do that when we come back on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Cold winter weather is, here. It's 20-something degrees. Not good to your vehicle. Get your vehicle taken care of. Give it the protection it needs. Get a visit from On the Spot Automotive Detailing. I recommend them. Why? Because they're great, because they do an insanely great service where it's convenient, when it's convenient, but they do so much more than just detailing. Their ceramic coating and their paint protection film work like magic. I'm talking no more mud, dirt, and water stains. The protective layering helps prevent UV oxidation damage to your car's paint, and you have an opportunity to get a lifetime warranty. So you can't go wrong. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They also offer window tint services for your vehicle, and it is a great gift. A great gift as you're going now into gifting season. Visit them online, otsdetailing.com for all your info, and you can book at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, rip, plaster, paint, destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sal, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She's been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
José Mahad here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of the construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets. Because we work hard to understand all.
With us, good. I spent a little bit of time with him on Saturday. It is just, I'm going to tell you, man, the people who are into it, and there are obviously more. There's some old timers down there, and I'm talking guys that are going back that remember the 1960 Sun Bowl. That I spoke to one gentleman. He was an original member of the New Mexico Bowl board back in the day, and he's still supportive. But he's been down there for a minute. He says, "Did you ever think you'd see this in your lifetime?" I said, "Did you?" And he almost I thought he got emotional. He says, "I never did." 10 wins. And look, I want to put it in perspective what Jerry said. They're going to play 15 games this year, right? A normal college football schedule is 12. UNM played 12. San Diego State played 12, right? Nevada played 12. Colorado State played, I think, 12. I know they played at Hawaii. All right, but they played at Hawaii, so they played a 13th. Then they play the conference championship game is 14. Then they'll play a bowl game is 15. I mean, that's damn near an NFL season, right? And they haven't. So I get it. His team's beat up, and there was a lot of talk down there about should they rest players. The game last week.
Yeah, how about that one?
Yeah,
you get a chance to talk about that Auburn game, but that was the talk.
No, it absolutely was
Auburn,
the talk.
Should you rest players? Nope.
And I loved
and beat them down.
I loved his response. In fact, we talked to him last week, and I asked him about that after they beat Auburn. You were in Cancun. Remember, DC, when I said, I know there was talk last week, and I loved his response was, no, we're going down there to win a football game, and it would be showing, and I'm paraphrasing, it would be showing these guys that I don't believe in them if I rested them in this game, if we sat them. And then they went out and they kicked their ass.
There's something to that. Let me ask you this. They're 2 years in a row in a bowl.
Yeah.
They're going to conference championship. What is the expectation or the goal for next year?
Well, that's an interesting question. It's going to be to compete for a conference championship.
So moving that forward, if now that's the goal and that's the conversation, how long does it progress to I want to be top 25, I want to be top 10, let's talk about the playoff, let's talk about real championships?
Conference championship's not real?
Well, national championships.
Well, you're not talking about national championship. You're just not.
Well, I mean the natural progression.
But okay, you want to talk about as the playoff expands to 12, when does the conversation go, we want to be the group of 5 representative in the playoff?
Right. Is that
that's
goal?
5 years. 5 years of winning away.
Okay.
Look, this is one of those, remember who you are now. And that doesn't mean you're always going to be who you've always been, right? But enjoy the success, understand how hard it is. And, like, what if they go, I don't know, what if they go 5-7 next year? Oh, we got to, like, right? It's interesting that you bring that up because I've watched programs. This one.
That is just that's
at UNM.
The mindset though of fans. Like you're not in the moment. You can never enjoy what just happened because you're already like, well, I haven't even played a Conference State championship game yet, but we need to be in the top 25.
Yeah, I haven't even thought where you're thinking yet. In my mind, because I've watched New Mexico State for so long, I'm in awe of what's happening, and I know you have too, right? And I think their fan base, at least for now, is right now. To your point, when we get to next year and we get to the offseason, let's see what happens. But JJ, I've watched them for so long. I think they're just in awe. They're giddy. They're giddily wobbling in their shoes that they've won 8 in a row, that they're playing for a conference championship in their first year in this league, that they were bowl eligible in October, that they've won 10 games for the first time since 1960 and the second time in the history of the program. So do you see, I think it's certainly not next year. I think you're going to have to see consistency. I mean, there's been programs who have years, right? And then can you sustain it? I think the next step for me is sustained success. Before I start talking about being the group of 5 representative in the college football playoff, which currently be in a New Year's 6, let me see. Let me have sustained success. That would be my next goal. Let me regularly compete for a conference championship. Let me regularly be a bowl team. I mean, I want you to understand, before they went to the Arizona Bowl in, what was it, JJ, 17? Whatever it was. They had not been to a bowl game since 1960. I want you to wrap your mind around the fact that there's currently 41 bowl games, but there's 30 whatever there's been. And they qualified. They were 6-5 in Tony Samuel's last year, which I want to say was like 99, 2000, somewhere like that. They didn't get in. There were, 20-something bowls at that point. I just want you to think how many bowl games there are, how many teams get in. Now, anybody who's 6-6, hell, they'll create another bowl to find a slot, right? I mean, God forbid a team gets left out at 6-6. And so I want you to wrap your mind around it. So I'm going to slow play this. I haven't even allowed myself. I haven't thought what you were thinking. I understand it. What's your thought on it?
I thought through this quite a bit, and my thought is if you hit a 3-year arc where you're in it, you're talking about the conference championship, that's kind of when that next step occurs. Where
all right, you're year 1.
So yeah, okay, so we're at year 1, so that's fair. But I'm just so incredibly impressed with the turnaround, and that's why I feel like it's kind of it's in a fast pace. I guess what he's doing down there is amazing, and knowing the budget restrictions, knowing how difficult it would be for him to recruit, like it tells me that this can be done many places.
So I love the turnaround. I love that too, and that's why I need to see before I start thinking where you're. Before I allow myself to go there, I got to see some sustained success. Now I'll tell you this: I was out on Saturday night a little bit, and I did talk to ran a bunch of players, and there were some conversations about that that guy we just talked to. I'll tell you what, those players, at least the ones I talked to, love that dude. Love that dude. And now he'll get in their face. If you watched him, what was that one game, JJ? There was a player who was wearing number 2. Which game was it? Was it the Louisiana Tech game? One of those weeknight games where he got a young man.
Contrary to popular belief, coaches tend still coach players hard, and players are okay with it.
Yeah. If you watch after Diego's the fourth turnover the other day, and he told me I got into him pretty good. Maybe but he's got to take care of the football. Diego fumbled at the goal line. They were going to put that game away. It was 17-3, and he fumbled at the 1 yard line, and all of a sudden it was 17-17. And
that's a heck of a relationship, because as good as Diego is, he definitely has moments where you're just like, was it the Louisiana Tech game where he threw that last pass and got his wide receiver hurt at the very end of the game?
Yeah. That's the one I'm talking about. Where
he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, if you watched the other night, he got into Diego he got into his quarterback pretty good. And obviously he's got a relationship where he can yell at him. Light him up on the sideline and then love him up. And you've got to have some pretty good trust and relationship. And look, winning, if you're 3-10, it probably doesn't go over as well. Yeah. When you're 10-3, it goes over a hell of a lot better than when you're 3-10, right? You bring up a great point. An Aggie fan, DC asked you a question. At what point do the expectations rise? I would suggest you just enjoy this moment. I think that's an accelerated conversation. I would totally suggest you just wobble in this moment, because you've never had it before. And this is where I wouldn't, you know what, never mind. Because I don't even want to litter it with those thoughts. I want you to go out, because you've never played in a championship game. I want you to go and enjoy what's happening on Friday. I want you to enjoy the bowl game. And then have those conversations. DC, I think it's fair. I think it's totally fair. But JJ's biggest point is you got to enjoy the moment. We're sports fans, and invariably your season ends up without a championship, right? The years that you win, live in the moment and enjoy them. That's my suggestion.
You build yourself so much up for failure. And so you're always preparing, like, I don't want this hurt, so let's not get too excited about this. That's the way fans are. Like, I can't enjoy this too much because it's not happening. No, if you get to a moment like this, enjoy every single second, because it's like, oh yeah, this is why I want to go through this all the time.
Because every once in a while there'll be a
one
payoff.
Of these moments.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that, because the feeling when your team is winning and you are at that championship moment, there is no greater feeling as a fan. So I am with you on that. When I ask that question, I ask as a guy on the radio, like, where does this go from here? And
I think it's a totally fair question, right? Totally.
But as a fan, though, no, I'm with you. Enjoy this moment, because these are as sweet as they come.
Before.
Yeah, if
you've never had it before,
enjoy every second.
People say act like you've been there. What if you've never been there? How the hell do you know how to act, right? They've never been here, so go knock your socks off, man. Wobble in your shoes and enjoy this one. When we come back, I know I promised this. I want to get into some of the UNM coaching rumors, candidates, that sort of stuff, and what's real, what's fiction. Let's get into some of that. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, rip, plaster, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you that bit home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All at Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and the mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations. Or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Global basketball over on News Radio KKOB and at the Pit, Louisiana Tech tomorrow night. And then the rivalry of enchantment, basketball style. It's been a minute since the Lobos and Aggies played basketball, huh? Go back at it on Saturday. The Aggies will be in the town. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. So what do you want to see for Lobo football coach as we go forward? I got Richard says, this is what Richard wants to see. Going to the games, Jeff. Getting rid of Gonzalez was just part of the equation. We need to improve the overall game day experience. For example, when I was watching NMSU Auburn, there was more talent sitting in the Tiger student section than we have on the cheerleaders and chappies. How about we start to recruit cheerleaders and chaparrals? I don't know if they can cheer and dance, but if they can, that'd be a bonus to the other intangibles they'd bring to University Stadium. All right. So that's what that guy wants. Is there a name that pops off the page that makes sense to you that you've heard, whether, from the Gary Pattersons to the, to Zach Arnett's, and I just don't think Rocky Long's a candidate for this job. I see no way Rocky's coming back and taking this job. Not that he doesn't love this place. I just don't think Rocky Long wants to be a head coach. That's why he walked away from San Diego State. He had a pretty good gig there, and it's a lot of work. I think he loves this place. I think he may be involved somehow. I just don't see that as being real. So is there a name that makes sense to you?
I'm really interested in a lot of the assistants, like when you get to learn about these coaches that you don't know about. It's very similar to Brian Benson. Didn't know who he was, and he came in, you're like, oh, this dude can run a good offense. And they put some players out there on the field. Of course, a lot of the names with prior connections, Matt Wells, Bronco Mendenhall, but a lot of that is how do you balance what Eddie Nunez was talking about, the athletic director, and he made a lot of references to news and NIL, the transfer portal, but you want, I think, an experienced head coach coming in next, someone that's been a head coach before. So you
think that's a big deal? Yeah,
that blend. And I know he was asked about Rocky Long on Sunday.
Yeah,
Rocky Long's not going to be the next head coach.
I agree with you 100%. So there's some young assistants, and typically when you make a hire and it doesn't work, and you have to fire a coach, you go the other way, right? He hired a young assistant last time. The time before that, he hired a veteran coach. Then he hired a young assistant, right? He hired Bob Davie, and he didn't hire Bob Davie, but it was Bob Davie, and then it was Danny. Two young assistants that are getting a ton of love: Brennan Marion, the offensive coordinator at UNLV, and Tony White, the defensive coordinator at Nebraska. And I know Tony White and Danny Gonzalez are really good friends, and I think Tony White's getting a job somewhere. I think they both interviewed at San Diego State. I could see Danny, if the SC thing doesn't work out, Danny going with Tony White. We'll see. Matt Wells and Bronco make a lot of sense to me. Bronco was defensive coordinator here under Rocky. Matt Wells was on the staff here, was a successful coach at Utah State, Coach Jordan Love, and has been. He went to Texas Tech, and now he's at Alabama as an analyst. He is Ray Birmingham's cousin. I don't know if that means anything, but that's truth. And he knows this place. At least one of his kids was born here. The Gary Patterson thing made a lot of sense to me, but I know I told you this the other day. I talked to someone who knows Gary pretty well, and Gary likes this place from everything I understand. I'm not sure Gary wants
do that much work.
Right, the fundraising, the stuff that's needed to be here. I mean, when Eddie talks about old school, new school, that may be the disconnect there. And Zach's interesting to me. I just don't know if Zach's going to get a head coaching job right away. Oh, but the other side on Zach is is Zach too similar to a Danny Gonzalez hire? Local guy, played here, coordinator. Did he really get a chance at Mississippi State? He got 11 games.
Yeah.
He jumped in when Mike Leach passed away. That was a tough position, right? But Zach's interesting to me. I just don't know that that's the way it's going to go. Matt Wells is the one that and Bronco pop off the page to me of a lot of the names. You're ringing the phones at 505-246-0610. Want to hear from you. Bring it at Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Giving Tuesday. I'm going to ask you to give a little bit, too, if you can. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Sal? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-post.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Willer Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWillerAuto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, we got a lot to do today. It's Giving Tuesday. We're going to give away 2 tickets to go see Lobo women's basketball against Boise State. That'll also qualify you for a chance at some mystery box goodies from All in Autographs. We're going to do that at 9:10 this morning. All right, we'll do that at 9:10 this morning. We'll give away those tickets. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610 is how to get here. Text line is also that same number. It says on the text line, love my Aggies. My son's freshman year was as an Aggie. Wouldn't it be great to get 2 more wins? Thanks for giving us Aggie fans some coverage. You're welcome. I got this from a former player on Jerry Kill. We were talking about Jerry Kill, how he gets into his players a little bit. He's verbally yells at them, and then he loves them, and they seem to play for him. This is a guy who played for Joe Morrison, and he says it sounds like Coach Joe Mo. We love that guy and his coordinators. They want our ass, demanded perfection, but showed us love and support every step of the way. That's why they are winning, and we went 10-1. It's interesting, right? 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. Let's go to the phones. Derek, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Derek.
Good morning. It's been a little while. How have you been? How's everything back in Albuquerque?
Life's grooving. What's up in Vegas?
I'm just glad that F1 race was over. That caused a lot of traffic headaches for about a year, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked cool. What do you got?
But Danny Gonzalez is a good coach, and those kids obviously played their hearts out for him up until the last play of the game, the season. but it had to be done. You can't lose 2/3 of your games and continue to keep going. He's going to be fine. He's going to land on his feet. He'll be on the sidelines this spring, coaching somewhere, in spring ball, but it had been done. I agree. I think Bronco Mendenhall would be a great hire, Gary Patterson. And why not? Why not throw a bone out there? Why not reach out to, like, Jimbo Fisher? I mean, A&M's paying his salary, so I don't think that could be much of a factor. And maybe something like that would be something good for Jimbo Fisher to resurrect his career a little bit. Got the championship games this weekend. I think we're in for a little bit of a chaos this weekend, only because we really haven't seen it yet this year. We haven't seen that real kind of jaw-dropping upset that makes you go, whoa. Do I dare say that I think the SEC could be out?
No way.
I do.
No, how?
Well, okay. All right, hear me out. Michigan wins, they're in. Florida State wins, they're in.
Yep.
I think the Pac-12 is in, no matter what happens. I think this is a de facto.
All right, we'll make it easy for your argument. Washington wins and they're undefeated. So, all right.
What if Alabama wins?
All right, so how then they get in, right? Or them and Georgia get in and somebody's out. How's the SEC out?
Okay, Bama wins.
Texas.
You can't really put Georgia in over them. The committee says they head-to-head.
Texas.
If Texas wins, they're a one-loss team who beat Alabama at the beginning of the year. Could you put Bama in ahead of Texas, who won head-to-head?
Yeah, you could. I mean, that there's your chaos. I don't see the SEC. I see it's more likely the SEC gets 2 than they get none. But I think I love your argument, because to me, Texas beat them in Tuscaloosa, and it was in September, and they were different teams. I don't give a damn if you're playing them and they count on your schedule. Then it's got to count. Texas beat them at Texas in Alabama.
I don't think it's going to happen. Could you imagine if it did? There would be Christmas would be canceled down in the southeastern part of the United States. It'd be anarchy. But
they'd make them watch
soccer.
you
can't say that my argument is not valid.
No, it is.
Alabama wins and Texas wins, but. Guys, if I don't talk to you, happy holidays.
You too, Derek.
Jeff, good luck with the New Mexico Bowl this year. Have a great day.
Be well. Derek, appreciate the call. That's the chaos, right? First of all, Alabama winning creates chaos. If Alabama beats Georgia, you have chaos. If Georgia wins, it's pretty clean. It's going to be Georgia. I mean, Michigan's going to win, assuming Florida State wins, and then the Pac-12 champ. Now, is a one-loss Pac-12 champ more deserving than a one-loss Texas Big 12 champ? That's your controversy.
And I wonder, with Florida, them not having their quarterback.
Florida State,
excuse me. Them not having their quarterback.
Yeah.
Are they going to just somehow, some way make it to where they just stay at 5?
But they didn't beat anybody.
It was just more impressive what Texas did, or more impressive what Alabama did.
That's why Florida State getting beat last week would have helped everybody.
To not put them in there with a back quarterback.
Yeah. Florida State getting beat last week would have helped everybody. Yeah. It's really interesting. It really is. All right, I got James is in on, and I said yesterday, Gigi, would you tell me 10,000 impressions on the Danny Gonzalez conversation on your Twitter?
That's correct.
Which is crazy. I got so much reaction. James is in on Danny Gonzalez. Jeff, I want to point out that all the love yesterday is limited to the OD. It never worked its way into the attendance numbers. Let's face it, if there had been 30,000 plus at University Stadium against Utah State, Nunez's decision would have been very different. Maybe, yeah, and probably. That is a metric. I think people look at the attendance figures as the only metric, and it's
and that was talked about. You're not breaking any news, dude.
That's right.
Like, people were like, "All right, you like this guy, but you weren't going to the game," and it comes back to you still have to have something to show up for.
You know, some of it sounds to me like, and this is a loose parallel. Soccer, UNM soccer. Everybody yelled and screamed, "Oh, how could they?" None of you went to the games. You were at them. Would they have 500 people at a game? And everybody lost their freaking mind. Well, it was a great program. And by the way, the last few years weren't great. But, yeah, it was a good program, and Jeremy did a great job with that program. It was a bummer to lose soccer. But you lost your left arm. And 98% of the people who were screaming about it never went to one game. Right? And that was a winning program. Well, they should bring back soccer and get rid of football. Stop. Please, stop. And it's like this. Well, and what was the dude's name? James, you're right. And I got it, man. You don't like Danny, and you got your right to not like him. Then you got what you wanted, and Danny said it straight out yesterday. You got to win. We didn't win. That was the bottom line. He owned it. He didn't run from it. He gets it. Right? But, I mean, to your point, you're not breaking any news. Here's my new favorite one of the day. And I sent him back a response. And I got one back yet. Mario and Dirty Jerry's agonizing decision. Jeff, does NMSU go to your game and make it easy for their fans to travel? Or, JJ, do they hope to go back to a much better bowl for the reasons previously discussed? Pro stadium, large city, and a part of the country outside NMSU footprint, etc., like they did in 2022, which provided a tremendous boost to the Aggie program. I think it's Mario's fiduciary responsibility to get the best bowl possible. So I sent Bruce a note back, and I said, Bruce, serious question. What makes the Quick Lane Bowl better than the Isleta New Mexico Bowl? Is it because if it's in New Mexico, it can't be good? I honestly don't understand.
Stadium.
Let me just
get Detroit-style pizza.
Yeah, and they could play Minnesota 5-7 team, and that way goes Jerry Kill's old team. And let me just explain something to you because I don't get it. And this worked out really well for everybody last year. They went to a place that made sense for New Mexico State, and our game had a matchup that was very successful for our game. It worked out the way it worked out last year. You're gonna honestly, and I like Brad and Tamara and all the people who run the Quick Lane Bowl, and Ford Field's beautiful. You're gonna have to explain to me why that is a quote unquote. And they got a Big Ten tie-in, but you filled the Big Ten slot last year because the Big Ten didn't fill. They filled this year because they got a 5-7 team in, to if that's where Minnesota goes. So see, honestly, I don't understand, and maybe I don't understand the business. Why that's a much, in Bruce's word, much better bowl. You're gonna have to explain it to me because I don't understand. Is Detroit just more fun in December? Much more beautiful.
Watch Cade Cunningham and then a Red Wings game.
Maybe. Jerome, what's up? You're on the Sports Animal.
Keep me in Albuquerque and in New Mexico. Let's go bowling over here. Let's stay in the state. Bring a bunch of fans in and take care of business. Take care of the WAC champion or the Mountain West champion. Is that who we be playing, or will we be playing the runner-up? I know there's like a 3-way tie or something, right?
Yeah. I don't know I honestly don't know what matchups in our game are going to be. I honestly don't know.
Well, that's kind of fun for you then, kind of just to wait and see. And then, well, you probably want to be prepared.
Last year I had a pretty good idea. This year I don't know. Yeah.
You're like, okay, gotcha. Hey, but I haven't called in, but the Auburn victory was awesome. I meant to call in then, but I was listening. But then a group of friends, we went to Las Cruces and watched the end of the season game against Jacksonville State, and that was a nail biter, man. That was truly a nail biter. But then they come back and win it, with Pavia throwing that 41-yard pass and then setting up the field goal, and the senior field goal kicker who's been with the program through thick and thin finishes off for a 2017 victory. That was pretty special. So I'm just looking forward to the game on Friday night. Let's see. I kind of want to walk. Well, I know I wanted us to be Liberty, but I know that Sunbelt, or not Sunbelt people, Conference USA people don't want us to because I guess they think that they can get a more high-profile game for Liberty. But I think we just take care of business, get revenge against them for one of our losses, and see what happens. Changing the subject a little bit, did you watch any of the Louisville basketball game?
No, we ended up with 4 players on the floor in overtime and lost to Louisville in overtime with 6 dudes fouled out.
Yeah, man, I was watching it, and I mean, like, one of the fouls that the referee, the guy hits our guy in the face with the elbow, and, the other guy calls the foul. I thought they were going to see if it was a blatant foul, but no, they go back to review it and say that our guy's face was in the way of the elbow
Well, get your
with
face
some
out of
kind
the
of
way.
cylinder rule. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Get your face out of his way.
But,
yeah.
I know, but anyway, we still should have won it. You got to make one free throw with 1.2 seconds left in the game. But, I see progress from them. I see fight in them. I think they still have a ways to go, and hopefully we get some of those injured players back. But I'm excited about football, and whatever bowl game we go to, my hope is that my friends and I will make the road trip or either stay in Albuquerque or go wherever. But I'm kind of hoping it's in Albuquerque just to have a New Mexico name tied to the bowl game and, bring a bunch of fans in, because I know we'll fill up that place if we stay in New Mexico with all the Aggie fans.
Right.
Let's kind of wait and see. But let me know, guys.
Yeah, wobble on, Jerome. Appreciate you. Don't be a stranger. See you. On their basketball team, you can make a good argument. You saw them play Fresno State. You make a real argument they should have beat Fresno State and Louisville.
Yeah, those are two not good teams right now.
Okay, but they're a team that had nobody that ever heard of New Mexico State 8 months ago.
Yeah, you lose that Louisville game because the one thing that really stood out to me, especially watching the Fresno State team, and it makes sense, is just the chemistry. Like, it's not there yet. Like, they got some good guys that can go one-on-one, but on both ends of the floor, they're still trying to figure out who the heck they are.
All right, 505-246-0610, Giving Tuesday. We're going to do some stuff on that coming up at 8:30. We got tickets to give away at 9:10 this morning. When we come back, I got more response to who you want as a Lobo coach. A bunch of you are getting in on that. And LeBron set another mark yesterday. And then they got smoked. Ooh. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, son? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez. This is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of ND Safety. ND Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. ND Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers, underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-post.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She's been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprise injury race, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm's there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How many driving that man home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on the streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back into Mujah. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for peace. I'm Adam Hokie, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Today, I know you got a lot of options, a lot of things you can be doing on with your mornings, and thank you for spending some time with us here on These Sports Animals. The opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. So LeBron James last night passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the regular season and postseason leader in minutes played. How many hours is this? So if I say 66,319 minutes, 66319, is that, so what do I do? Divide it by 60? I don't even know how to do this math. Well, let's just say 60. It's like a lot of minutes. I don't know. It's a lot of hours. 1,100 plus hours playing basketball. Which is all nice and all. They got beat by the Philadelphia 76ers 138-94, the most lopsided loss of his career. How weird is that? Like you take losses, but the irony of passing Kareem on a night that you get beat by 44 points? Is that right? What's 38-6? 44. I mean to tell you. Minutes mark mean anything to you? It means you played a lot. I mean, it's impressive, right?
Stayed healthy.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's impressive. It's a longevity mark. Yeah, there's something to it. But they got ripped. By a good team. But holy smokes, the irony of that. All right, 505-246-0610. Let me give you a few. Two different Jeffs are texting me about what they want as coach. And one Jeff says Bronco Mendenhall, maybe the next coach at UNM, and the AD must do whatever it takes to get a new updated stadium. That ties in directly to the fan base, has to happen. He says, I think Bronco would be a natural fit. Matt Wells would be a great candidate, too. I don't know why the stadium issue has not really been addressed. Maybe it's because lack of funds, but we've got to get rid of that Brown monstrosity and bring it up to speed. Also, do you think there's a backroom conversation about UNM and the possibility of merging into another recently disbanded conference and what it would take to be considered a part of that club? You need a competitive football program and modern facilities. It's from Jeff. So, yeah, there's a lot of conversations about the whole Pac-12 and who's going to be in. And you know, he's in on the facilities. I was just down the hall talking to someone about, you know, they were listening and said, you can bring in the ghost of Joe Paterno. It doesn't matter until they invest in football, until they give it the resources. And it's getting a lot of conversation this time around. And I've been on this for a long time, but really hard over the last few months, right? About the facility and about resources in football. And I asked both Eddie Nunez yesterday and Danny Gonzalez, is this program resourced to meet expectations? And the answer Eddie gave was, well, nobody ever has enough. Texas A&M probably wants more. Well, Texas A&M just paid their coach what, $7 million a year and gave him $11 million for his assistant coaching pool, right? But did you see
Their brand new head coach,
Yeah.
after they paid their old one $76 million to go away.
So I'm not telling you need to do that, because you can't. But what Jeff is saying is resources matter. The stadium matters. We got to fix this thing.
If you're going to do it, then try to do it the best you can.
Yeah. Travis, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Travis.
Good morning, fellas.
What's up?
Listen, this whole conversation about resources, it's like it's like what my parents always said about me, right? I got champagne taste on a beer budget.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
And if you're gonna pay bottom of the barrel, and some of the fans, some of the listeners and their responses yesterday were willing to pay the bare minimum. We're only willing to pay the bare minimum.
That's what they want.
Well, you're going to get bare minimum results. So it's something to think about. I will say, I don't remember there being a time with there, in college football, there being so many openings across college football. I'm not sure if that's a really good opportunity for us, given all the coaches looking for jobs out there, or more challenging for us, given the number of gigs out there.
It's no different than a normal year. Travis, I don't think it's any different any other year.
That's fair. I do want to wish Danny and his family the best. I know he's going to have a really successful coaching career going forward. I think it's hard to find a better guy than Danny. And you can tell Eddie really struggled with that decision for that reason. He's a high-character guy. He's a family man and a real champion and supporter of this program and the state. But after listening to that interview yesterday with Diego Pavia, or the segment that you guys played, I'll just say this. Diego, you may dislike Danny and his coaching staff for not giving you a chance, but you could sure learn a lot from Danny about being a high-character guy. The history of sports is filled with Hall of Famers who talk a whole mess of junk during the games, but knew what to say when they were in front of the media. Like you got overlooked by UNM. Go settle it on the gridiron, which by the way, you did. But you got caught doing something stupid. Say the right thing to the media and move on. I'm a lot older than Diego, but I hope he learned that it takes more effort to be a jerk than it does to be classy. Hopefully you guys get this movie reference, but the difference between ordinary and extraordinary, just that little extra. Have a good day, guys.
See you. Look, I'm not going to call him a jerk. I know how he came off to some Lobo fans. I know how he came off to Aggie fans in that thing. And he spoke and he explained it. He didn't apologize, and that's where it's going to be. I think you just want a statement out of him. You want to hear something. All right, when we come back, it is Giving Tuesday, and we have chosen Special Olympics in New Mexico today to be our recipient. We're going to talk with Brittany Scanlon, the corporate relations manager for Special Olympics New Mexico, next, and ask you if you can to help out a little bit. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on the streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back into boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for peace. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Seagulls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of ND Safety. ND Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. ND Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers, underage friends to consume alcohol.
Giving Tuesday, asking you if you can to consider helping out others. And JJ and I have opted to work once again with Special Olympics of New Mexico. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. And I've watched what Special Olympics of New Mexico has done. We've worked with them, JJ, both with this show and with the Isleta New Mexico Bowl. And just what it does for so many people in our community and the positivity that it does is offered. We're asking you if you can to make a gift to Special Olympics New Mexico today. It provides year-round sports training and competition for children and adults with intellectual disabilities. And Special Olympics is creating a world where each person is included, where each person is respected, where each person is celebrated for their abilities. Support Special Olympics throughout the season. At the holiday season, it's the Pozole Ole Fun Walk. It's New Mexico style, warm pozole, breakfast burritos, and more to talk about what they do there and why you should be a part of this. Brittany Scanlon is the corporate relations manager for Special Olympics New Mexico. Good morning, Brittany. How you living?
Hi, Jeff. I'm good. How are you?
Really, really good. Thank you, and appreciate you working with us on this and the bowl game and everything else. But when I talk to people about what you do, I think people understand. I think I know what Special Olympics is, but they don't. And when we're asking people today to be part of Special Olympics New Mexico and give if they can, what do you tell people when they say, well, I kind of know what you do, but I really don't?
Yeah, we have over 3,000 athletes across the state with intellectual disabilities here in New Mexico, and we offer year-round training. I think a lot of people think, we're a once-a-year track meet, and we provide so many more services than that. We have 12 different sports and 5 different seasons that we offer training and competition for our athletes throughout the year, as well as free health screenings for our athletes at our state games, whether it's in vision, in hearing, in physical fitness, because so many of our athletes are at higher risk for many health conditions, and both those screenings and the sports training combat, being at a higher risk for diabetes, at a higher risk for heart disease. So it's something that not only provides, like you said, friendship and inclusion and a place for them to belong, but also some real physical health benefits.
And with this, too, it's not just the money needed to fund all these programs, but also just getting the people that help, the coaches, the volunteers. How much does things like this play into that to be able to set up what you guys need to do throughout the year?
Exactly. We need so many volunteers, so many coaches. We need so many people to be trained and to offer these health screenings. And I think that we have over 5,000 volunteers in a calendar year at our various events. And I think since COVID, we've really struggled coming back some of those numbers. Some of our coaches didn't return. Some of the facilities that we used to be able to access for our teams for practices as well as for our games, they are no longer available to us. So we're just doing everything we can to, like you said, more than just donations, but also just looking for services and being able to provide our guys with, the most opportunities that they can, because so many of us take that for granted, and we want to be able to make sure that they have as many opportunities as we do.
Brittany Scanlon is the corporate relations manager for Special Olympics New Mexico. And I'm going to give you the website. It's sonm.org, Special Olympics New Mexico, sonm.org. And I'm going to ask you if you can to consider helping out Special Olympics. How much of what is given? And I know this is something I always get asked, well, where's the money going to go? Is it going to stay in New Mexico? Does it go, especially when there's a national association or organization attached to it? And I know that you want to assure people that the money will stay here in New Mexico.
Yeah, 100% of the dollars that we raise here in the state stay in our state for our athletes. I think a lot of people in our state know that we don't have all of the same, financial opportunities. We don't have the same level of sponsorships that are coming in as some of the bigger states in our country. And so it's really important that all of those dollars do remain here, because our athletes, deserve as much opportunity as we can give them. And today, for Giving Tuesday, we actually have a sponsor, a local sponsor here in New Mexico, Swire Coca-Cola, who is offering a sponsorship match of up to $2,500 for all donations that come in for our Pozole Ole Fun Walk, which is taking place this weekend.
Yeah, and talk about that, because that is this weekend, and that is an event that people can be part of. It's one of those fun New Mexico-style things, and it goes a long, long way to do what you guys need to get done.
Yeah, so it's this Saturday, December 2nd, at Grace Church, which is at the northwest corner of San Antonio and Louisiana. And it really is just a fun community-style event for our teams to raise dollars going into the new year for uniforms, for medals, for travel to different competitions, and so much more, meals at our games. And anyone in our community can go to our website, sonm.org, and find more information on how to register for that.
There's so much going on. And when you talk, did you say 3,000 athletes in our community that take part in this? That was what the number was?
About 3,200, which is not quite. We were at almost 4,000 before COVID, so we are trying to get that number back up and really find those guys that we were reaching before that we're somehow missing right now. A lot of those guys, are in small rural communities. They're in group homes. They don't have access to get themselves to practice, to get themselves to games. So really just finding ways to reach out, make sure that we're giving them that access.
I don't know how many people, and she's Brittany Scanlon, the corporate relations manager with Special Olympics New Mexico. It's Giving Tuesday, SONM, Special Olympics New Mexico.org is the website, asking you if you can to donate. And if you're considering helping on Giving Tuesday, I want you to consider Special Olympics New Mexico. But so many people have members of their family with intellectual disabilities or know someone. And if you've never sat down and just talked with somebody, and I hope you would take the time to do that. But Brittany, one of the things that drew me to your organization years ago is the unique joy that your athletes feel with the inclusion, that this is a place where these kids and adults feel like they belong, and with no barriers. And I think there's places in their lives where they go and they probably realize, well, maybe we are a little different, or they're treated differently. And that's why your organization kind of struck my heart, because the sheer joy of your athletes that, hey, this is our place. We belong, we can be us, and we're loved and accepted for who we are. And by the way, we're pretty talented.
Absolutely. I mean, so many of our athletes have been bullied, have been left out, were never invited to a birthday party or a sleepover in school. And now they have this community, and it goes beyond that. Their families have this community, their parents have people in their lives that they can relate to and understand what they're going through. And like you said, it is just happy and joy, and also, not just joy from being included, but joy from learning a sense of pride and learning new skills and being able to prove to themselves that they can do certain things that maybe people in their lives have told them that they can't do. And all of us, I think, at some point have found that joy that comes from being proud of yourself, and being able to provide that to the athletes through sports is really incredible. And it's like we always hear from our volunteers and spectators that, it changes their lives when they come.
I'm asking you, if you can, to consider Special Olympics New Mexico on this Giving Tuesday. It's SONM.org. That's Special Olympics New Mexico, SONM.org. If you go to their website, there's a donate button at the top. There's more ways to donate. You can be part of Pozole Ole, the fun walk, which is this coming Saturday, and be part of it, and consider them year round if it's something you're able to do. Brittany, I appreciate your work in the community. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for spending some time with us. Looking forward to having your athletes at the Isleta New Mexico Bowl coming up on the 16th of December. They're going to be part of Cal's Corner, which is a big part of what we do, remembering Calvin Allen and his family in Special Olympics of New Mexico is important to them. So we'll see you out there. Best of luck with not only today with Giving Tuesday, but Pozole Ole and everything you're doing. Thanks for everything.
Thank you. Thanks for having me this morning.
Appreciate you. She is Brittany Scanlon, Corporate Relations Manager for Special Olympics New Mexico. You've been to their events, man. Just
hearing all that too, of how they're still trying to come back and get more athletes involved and get more help. And this is, why we're so excited to do something like this. Have a segment, remind people everything that's going on in this giving season. Do what you can, where you can.
Yeah. All right, phones are ringing. We'll go to the phones at 505-246-0610. Red Zone at 9 o'clock. We're going to give away tickets at 9:10. We're going to hit the phones as soon as we get back at 505-246-0610. You got the right to protect yourself and your property. That's why I call International Protective Service. They've watched my home for years. They watch hundreds of homes and businesses in the Albuquerque area. The criminals don't care about laws, but IPS does, and they're committed to stop criminals from targeting your home and your business around the Albuquerque area. They offer highly trained armed officers who respond to alarms usually within 7 minutes. Police are overwhelmed. They can't react until it's way too late. IPS also installs alarm systems, surveillance. They monitor surveillance, and they keep your property and your belongings and your family safe. You've worked too hard to build what you've got. Don't let the bad guys come in and ruin everything. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Sal? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
José Mahad here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of the construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez. This is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of ND Safety. ND Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. ND Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Sunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hey, Dad, when you out?
Don't sacrifice.
When you're in the weeds. Remember, gang, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary that little extra.
What's that from? What's the movie?
Waiting, 2005.
Yeah, and that's what Travis left us with. Little bit of extra. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Jeff, JJ, and DC. Bruce responded to me. I asked him why. So I said, serious question, Bruce. Why is the Quick Lane Bowl much better, as he stated, than the Isleta New Mexico Bowl? And here's what he told me. As I mentioned below, NMSU isn't normally playing in a pro stadium we see on TV on Sundays and hosted a Super Bowl. I will give you that. Their venue is superior to our venue. I'll give you that. A larger upper Midwest city where NMSU wouldn't normally play in an area not previously exposed to Aggie football. So that makes them a better bowl. A much better bowl.
There
Okay?
might be people going for the event, but you're not gaining Aggie fans. The world of recruiting does not mean you have to be at XYZ place anymore.
The day after Christmas, when everyone is sitting at home cold and bored, it was the only bowl and was basically the lead into Monday Night Footy. How many times has NMSU had the spotlight to themselves and not up against 50 other games? All that was true last year. Does that make them a better bowl? That's a much, in Bruce's words, that makes them a much better bowl. In a place the day after Christmas where how many of their fans are going to go the day after Christmas? I mean, whatever. If that's what you think is a much better bowl, then that's your interpretation. I don't believe it to be most people's, but if that's yours, if it's because it's in the upper Midwest where their fans aren't going to have easy access, and okay, I don't understand it, but I don't understand the bowl business very well.
If only you did, Jeff. If only you did.
Maybe I could get a job in it. Hey, Frank, good morning. You want to talk about Danny? Good morning, Frank.
Morning, guys. Thanksgiving Day, I was with a bunch of friends, and I drank a ton of tequila. I'm a whiskey drinker, but
what can go wrong?
I've discovered if you drink enough tequila, tell me this is, I don't know, Dolly Parton is a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
It's at 70-something years old. Yep, drink more tequila. How'd she look?
That really happened, and I thought it was my tequila. Oh, my gosh. Hey, real quick about Danny. I see him every day in the grocery store because I'm rich. I live in that neighborhood, Edward. And he's such a good human. He always, looks me in the eye. Hey, man. And I hate change, but probably hate losing even more, I remember calling Dennis Glasgow and Ian Martin. Remember those names?
I do.
And saying, get Josh Heupel. He's right out of college. Get him. Well, look what happened,
Well, yeah, he's doing all right. Yeah, you're going back to the day. Those are the original guys that did the morning show here on the Sports Animal way back 26, 7 years ago.
Aging myself. Not to turn the page, but what's going on with MASH and House?
It's a really good question, man. House has the hip injury that I think is going to linger, and I haven't heard a word on MASH. Have you, JJ?
Wow.
No, we'll learn more today as Rich Pitino is meeting with the media at noon.
Yeah.
So we'll get an update.
So we'll know more today, Frank. All right, man. Appreciate it, and keep drinking the tequila, I guess, huh? See ya. I said, how'd she look? He said, oh, man.
You caught him off guard with that one.
That's good. Dr. Jim, good day, sir. How you living?
I mean, that was a textbook call,
It's so
right?
good.
Like, if you ever do any caller education outreach to folks that call in, like, you play back that call. That was perfection.
Yep.
Do you agree?
I do.
All right, so you guys with your Giving Tuesday got me thinking about, our state's universities and their athletic departments and a $3.5 billion surplus up at the Roundhouse. And, it's probably a good time to talk about, why we don't have a plan around using a modest and small percentage of those funds to invest in the athletic departments across our state, not just the Aggies and Lobos, but the guys in Portales and Silver City and up in Las Vegas are trying to, turn a nickel into a quarter. And, I think the evidence is pretty clear that when you make smart investments in athletics, it drives enrollment. Like, you just have to look across the country, look at the data, and, you know, I haven't heard that discussion at all. It was kind of bubbling on Twitter yesterday, but I wanted to ask you guys if you know, everybody's trying to go get their own, right? You go up there and, you know, all the ADs are trying to get their own, but you know, what about, you know, $200 million across 5 universities allocated, have them identify, you know, like their most meaningful need that can, you know, improve the athletic department and create visibility for enrollment and admission.
Yep.
I mean,
That's why you do athletics, man. That's the whole point of athletics. And then if you're going to do it right, and you do it to attract more applicants to your university.
Yeah, I think you and I should go get registered as lobbyists, and we can go take up,
That sounds
you know,
miserable.
carry this flag for the 5 schools.
That
Right?
sounds
You're probably better at it than me. I get mean and angry.
That
You're
just
nice.
sounds miserable to me. Like one of the things I've never wanted to be was a lobbyist. I respect them. It just sounds miserable to me. JJ.
No, I mean, they're
I just
really
stand there with the
masters of
sign?
nothing. Like, they know how to order their steak,
I harass
which I
people.
respect.
What do I do?
Yeah, no, you got Jim's right. You got to know how to order their
Do I
steaks.
stand
What
on
can
the,
I get you, sir?
Stand on the corner. And
Yeah.
the
Do you want another
cardboard
drink?
Sign? Like,
You want
what
another tequila? That's how that goes.
Yeah, he's our lobbyist. Was it Frank? That's our
That's
guy.
our dude.
Let's get him on the payroll.
No doubt. All right, Jim. Good to hear you, man.
All right, fine.
See,
bye.
it's so good. But it's a great idea. All right, what if there's $200 million? I know that sounds like an insane amount of money, and it is a lot of money. But when you go into the state budget and the amount of surplus that's there, and say, okay, we got five universities: UNM, New Mexico State, Eastern, Western, and Highlands. They're all supporting athletics, and look, there's going to be money for chemistry buildings and all the other stuff. But okay, here's your point. And what do you need? What do you need? And everybody's got a need. And is it going to be divided up equally? No, it won't be. Western doesn't get what UNM gets or what New Mexico State gets. But 1 year, you know, so let's just say, I don't know. What if 50 went to New Mexico, 50 went to New Mexico State, 33 went to Highlands, Western, and Eastern-ish, right? Would that be a good use of funds? My point is, and what Jim's saying, there's a reason universities sponsor athletics. You've heard the front porch analogy many, many times. It's inarguable that successful athletics lead to more applications to your university. San Diego State has talked about that incessantly, how their run to the Final Four has increased what they do. You wouldn't know what Gonzaga is or where Butler is, or if it wasn't for athletics. What's a Villanova? What is a Marquette? You wouldn't know. Right? So if you're going to do it, does it make sense to do it right? And if you're going to do it right, doesn't it make sense to fund it, support it, resource it, so it can be done right? That's what he's saying. And I agree.
You know, a great case study for that is it's the team that New Mexico State is playing at Liberty. They dumped $150 million in over 4 years to totally redo their athletic department.
Now, I believe that to be all private funding.
That I'm not sure about, but
Because
what
it's
I
a
do
private
know,
institution.
Their athletic budget is lower than University of New Mexico.
Is that right? Liberty's is?
From what I was reading this morning, yes.
Oh, but
So
all that private money that went into their facility.
Again, I'm not sure where the 150 came from, but it's an interesting comparison.
All right, we're going into the red zone and giving away some tickets when we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, classic, intoxicated, rip, plaster, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to pro.
it's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive that bit home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running.
It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
All right, you had NFL last night. You had the Bears beat the Vikings 12-10 on a Monday Night Thriller. Josh Ua. Is it like it's not Matt, it's Matthew? It's is it not Josh? It's Joshua. Joshua Dobbs. 4 interceptions last night for the feel-good story of the year of the National Football League. Didn't feel good last night. I don't think I knew your level of Viking fandom or tie-indom. Does that make sense?
Sort of, yeah. I can make sense of that. Right. But so it's funny. It goes back to Dreamcast and Randy Moss because he caught everything, and so then I was just hooked on Randy Moss. Always kind of followed his career, which obviously started in Minnesota, and then married into it, and
so it's your team-in-law. The Broncos are your team, but the Vikings are your team-in-law.
That would be accurate. Yes, yeah. I've heard that. I love that term.
Yeah, that's my term.
Yeah, you should.
I've copyrighted that.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, no, I want to do a whole line of shirts with team-in-law. I've actually had these conversations. It's in the process. I got a lot of things in the process.
Good.
All right, let's go into the red zone. DC's going to take us a little different direction in the red zone today.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy?
I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this thing.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, and as you said, we are going to do this a little differently because, quite frankly, it's just such a fascinating topic. I think you guys have a lot to offer. Frank, Eddie, you might want to press record on this one. This is a big one. So, it's like, I have an MBA, but I rarely use it on the radio, so we're going to give it a try today.
Do you have an MBA?
I do.
Know
Strategic management.
No,
yes.
please, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, that's how I get to do this job, because I've worked really hard before. So, nevertheless, as we know, UNM announced changes to the leadership in the football program last weekend. This change offers them a chance to restart the program and positively impact the football program's future, as well as the entire athletic department. We've seen Jerry Kill turn it around quickly down south in Las Cruces, so we know it can be done. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a SWOT analysis for the head football coaching position at UNM. This is a tool commonly used when you're thinking about expanding, buying a new company, changing leadership, anything. You can use it for anything. So we'll just dive right in. Okay, so what are the strengths of this position? Is it strengths of the university, the program, city, state, facilities, leadership, anything you can think of? What are the strengths of this job?
I think the fact that the strength is this is a true college town. Now it doesn't quite have that feel all the time, but you are the main attraction in town. Division I athletics is the most high-profile sport in this town. It is over Isotopes baseball, United Soccer. It's Lobo football and Lobo basketball, and that is something that you can tap into.
So I think there's a few strengths. I think passion is kind of where you're going with that, right? I think hunger. This town is thirsting for a winner. I think, look, it's football, so everybody. I do believe when you get a football winner, I think it's been proven around here. When you win, I'm going to give you another one, and I hope this holds. I believe that culture is a strength, and you're going to hit me with what the hell is culture, Jeff? It's that word that they use in Vegas all the time. And this is one of the reasons why I would have been leaning a little bit to keep Danny. Okay, I feel that the culture that has been developed over the last bunch of years. Now you're going to say, Jeff, it's a losing culture, and I'll lean on. I believe they've done so many things right except for win. It feels like people wanted to be here. It was positive. It was very New Mexico, if that makes sense. Grades were good. There was, again, I'm going to go back to, there was no off-field incidents that were in the news all the time, right? So if they can continue to build on that, and that's one of my biggest fears, is restarting a brand new culture, and everybody comes in and we're going to do it my way. So I'm going to go with passion of the fan base, the thirst to support something that wins, and culture. Is that fair?
Second and goal.
I think that's very fair. Culture is so very important, and it is something to build on. So moving on from there, let's go to weaknesses. What are some of the weaknesses of the position? University, program, NIL, funding, resources, all that.
The obvious is that, right? I mean, it's resources, and whether that means facilities and do you have a dining room? Do you have a player's room? Do you have, the facilities to compete in today's college football? And so resources goes to funding, it goes to facilities, and the other one, and I'm going to give you the weakness, and this is it's a mindset. Tradition works against you a little bit, and modern tradition is a weakness that whoever comes in is going to have to fight and is going to have to overcome.
Yeah, that's where I was going. It's, even though you should be the biggest show in town when it comes to the sporting landscape, fans have been beat down for so long that they don't have that trust, and that's why we get so frustrated with it. But there's so many people that just say drop down a division or get rid of football altogether. Like, they're just so done with not seeing success. And while we have the opportunity to be the biggest show in town on a Saturday, there is a lot of people that it's going to take a whole lot of work to get their attention, to get them to believe that, oh yeah, I'll buy a ticket for this team on Saturday, see what they're all about.
Third and goal.
All right, and JJ, you started to hit on this on the last one. What opportunities exist for this? What opportunities exist at school? Is it freedom for the coaching staff, hiring your own staff, recruiting, NIL, current roster? What kind of opportunities are out there for this upcoming coach?
Well, he kind of has to start from ground zero when it comes to that. They've gotten a little crossover from 505 Sports Venture Foundation, but that just feels like it's totally about basketball. And they're like, oh, here's a couple shots of...
No, even Monday where they posted, donate on Tuesday was all basketball.
Yeah, like here's a couple shots of the football team. Like, they have to cultivate an NIL base for football, whether it's getting someone that can step up and maybe join that partnership with more of a football focus, or just football outright, finding someone that's willing to create their own NIL venture for football.
I mean, I think you got an opportunity to create yours, right? You bring in your staff. I think there's going to be a lot of new players. You got an opportunity to create. The opportunities are excitement. Once you get over the trauma of change, right? Change is hard. It's hard to accept. I think the majority of people like Danny, and there's a lot of people who are, not happy that this is happening. But I think those same people are unhappy because they want to win. And so if you bring in someone that is surrounded by excitement, you've got an opportunity to cultivate a new excitement, a new hope, And so you'll bring in your staff and players, and you've got an opportunity for a fresh start. And so when you say what's the opportunity, you got a chance to re-engage a fan base that I do believe wants to win and wants a reason to engage. And the other opportunity is, look, man, 6 wins is going to be a huge success over the first 2 years, 3 years. And if you can get to that point, you got an opportunity to grow it.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, and the final one, and it's probably one of the most important. What are the threats? Is it emerging competition, changing rules, facilities? Again, with the NIL money, recruiting, what threats exist?
So I'm going to go back to threats and weaknesses are very similar to me. But one of the threats is there's no patience amongst not just this fan base, any fan base. So that's a threat. And the other one is I think there's some urgency because when is the next movement in realignment going to occur? And a threat, JJ, to me would be being left behind if the Pac-12 peels off the top of the Mountain West and the American. Now, I don't know that I think that's going to happen, but I don't know that I think it's not. And so if you're asking what is a threat, I kind of feel that there's some urgency to show that competitively, facility-wise, all support-wise, that this program is ready to be with the upper echelon of what is now your league if there's going to be, and there always is, a next step in realignment. To me, the threat would be not having success, not showing support, not having the resources that your peer institutions say, well, why are we bringing them with us? So to me, I don't know that I think it's a huge threat, but it can become a bigger threat than it is if you allow it to be.
It absolutely is a concern, and I know the Mountain West is trying to do their best to stay together with this partnership for the next couple seasons with Oregon State and Washington State, but they still have all the leverage because they have the money, they have the name brand. Right now is the
Well,
Beavers,
they have some schools
the
that
Beavers and Cougars own the Pac-12.
And they have some schools that probably don't want to stay all together.
And so if they throw enough money out there, if they have enough money to get it done, they could peel who they want away, and you're left behind.
And that's a threat, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. DC, that was good. I know that was different, and I think it was really good. I'm glad you used your MBA on this one.
I'm sure my parents are too.
I mean, were those fair?
They were. And, one of the things, the reason I kind of go back to this is because I knew money would come up over and over again.
Sure.
And Danny, he addressed that very directly yesterday in that interview. He threw it out there that $500,000 goes a very long way. And I started thinking about that, like, that actually would have a huge impact, wouldn't it?
I heard this, and I believe it to be true. So there's a couple things. It's been reported over and over that Danny just had 1 year left on his contract. The fact is he was extended. There were 2 years that nobody's talking about, that he was extended after the 2020 season, and it went through December 26th. That the buyout could have been $900,000, and from everything I'm hearing now, Danny didn't want to stick to the school with that bill and settled at $350,000, but it could have been $900,000. So there was time left on the deal. The other thing is, in 4 years, from what I understand, his budget's only been increased $100,000. That was when they hired Bryant Vincent in to find money for Bryant Vincent and bring him in. And so, that's what he's talking about, I think, with commitment. I'm going to read you this one on the text line, and because not everybody believes this. And I want to be very clear. A facility upgrade or a new stadium does not guarantee victory. Okay? Case in point, San Diego State and Colorado State. Okay?
And Colorado.
All right. I mean, there's lots of them, right? Not improving your facility puts you at a big disadvantage. This texter says the UNM football stadium doesn't need to be improved to increase its dismal team's performance, despite what those self-interested alternative goal havers say. The very proof a stadium improvement does not beget a team's increase in performance is particularly an MSU. Bad facility, low budget, good coach, team results. Yes, winning ultimately is what's going to put people in the stadium. If you think you can just continue with this stadium built in the 60s and not improve it and just stay what you are, I think you're wrong.
It's so bitter. Like, you can have a different opinion, but stop taking shots at us. We're talking about athletics, if you're going to play athletics, if you're going to put teams in the pit, if you're going to put teams on the field at University Stadium, if you're going to put teams out there at track and field and soccer, they deserve facilities to compete in. The fans deserve clean restrooms, stuff that works.
Concessions that they can get to.
They can get to. That's part of the conversation, not just, hey, make this football stadium better for us.
Yeah.
You might not be on board with it, but it's not some self-serving interest. It's athletics. This is a sports show. If you don't get it, change the freaking channel.
Yeah,
this is what we're talking about.
And nobody ever said it guarantees you win. Nobody ever says that. But it guarantees you get left behind if you become antiquated in your facilities.
It's even building that that new tennis facility for your tennis athletes out there with the baseball stadium and softball stadium. Are you bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars for that? No, but you're doing things for the student athletes. You're doing things for people that are coming to your university to play athletics. You're doing things for the fans that are buying tickets to try to show up. And maybe, you're not on board with football, but it's not some self-serving interest. If you're going to do athletics, you should try to do it right for everyone, for the players, for the coaches, and for the fans. And if you don't get that, if you don't think you should be spending money on sport, well, then sports ain't for you because you got to spend money.
That's really well said. Why are we spending? We just keep losing. All right. All right, we'll go on the phones when we get back. I got tickets to give away. So here's what we're going to do. Caller number 3 right now. Call it 505-246-0610. Caller number 3 gets 2 tickets, Global Women's Basketball versus Boise State on January 6th. And you will qualify for a chance to win a mystery box from All In Autographs. And you will qualify for a chance to win on the live show on December 9th at All In Autographs, mystery box and gift cards at All In Autographs for $50, $100, or $250. So not only do you get the tickets to the Global Women's versus Boise State, you will get goodies from All In Autographs, Albuquerque's premier collectible place. It's a museum. I love that place, and what Shane and April Lynn have done with that place. So call now, caller 3, 505-246-0610, and you'll win courtesy of your good friend DC on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sal, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers, underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Willer Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswillerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Sucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Your surprisingly great race? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Not overhyped losers, or absent such a performing team, fans deserve the right to avoid harassment by those wanting fans paying butts in their stadium seats. Nobody's harassing you.
Dude, if you're going to throw a jab, you got to be ready for a counter. So don't take personal shots at us and then get all salty when we take a shot back when we're having a conversation that, yes, there's differing opinions.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make it personal, I'll make it personal back. I will. Because all you do is send those nasty texts about us talking about athletics on The Sports Animal.
Yeah.
The Sports Animal.
Again, nobody's harassing anybody for not
The
going
Sports
to
Animal, right? Okay.
I guess there are some callers who harass you for not going to games. I've told you years ago, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. If you want to go to a game, paint your face, go to every game, that's cool. And if you want to sit on your couch and never go to a game, look, I get that too. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan.
When you talk about the conversation of investing money into athletics, it's not forcing you to go. Like, that's, would they like you to fill the seats? Absolutely. But there's a process, not chicken or the egg.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I literally, and you saw me just right. It's an absolute chicken or the egg conversation. And some believe that don't invest in the facility, win first. Well, how are you going to win first if you don't invest and attract better coaches and players? Like, when a player comes here or Colorado State, or let's just say you're being recruited by San Diego State, Colorado State, and here, okay, all in the same league. You go to San Diego State's facilities and you see the brand new Snapdragon Stadium. You go through their all the money they've invested, and you go, and it's San Diego. Okay. You go to Colorado State and you see the brand new stadium that they've invested in, which is beautiful, right in the middle of campus. And then you come here and you see, I mean, it's a nice stadium, it's fine, but it's not that. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go play?
San Diego.
I mean, it's probably San Diego wasn't a fair one, all right? But Boise, their facilities, they built a brand new locker room in the end zone. Bowl game can't touch them, right? It does matter, and I understand it doesn't matter for a fan, and I get that, but it is part of the equation.
Yeah,
but nobody's berating
want to
you.
invest in athletics, that's fine. Yeah. But then if you're going to make it personal and say, well, it's just your self-serving interest, I'll talk back to you, man.
Yeah, what do we get
jab,
out of it?
let's
What do
go.
you and I get out of it? The team, it's more fun to talk about winners than losers? I mean, yeah, I guess. Oh, Sway, good morning. Thanks for holding. What's up, buddy?
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
How you living?
Getting into fights? What's going on?
JJ is, man. JJ's going to throw.
JJ. But I'm going to have to, that's one of the things I've been contemplating. Like, what is it? is it what shows up first? Is it fans need to show up and then the winning comes? But I think you're kind of onto something as far as just investing. I think the university just needs to invest, whether the fans are showing up right now or not. I mean, you can't just leave that there. And just the fans here, I guess that the mentality is what, there's going to be those fans that, yes, when you start winning, they're going to show up. But as soon as you start losing, they'll drop off. But it's that other core that I think needs to be a little bigger, that they're going to show up no matter if you're losing or winning. And we need to get that core up, I think, to at least, 15 to 20,000, consistency. And then once you have one of those good years, and of course that thing is going to blow up and people are going to start showing up. But, this past weekend, my brother came in from Texas for Thanksgiving, and I bought him a ticket, and my two boys, and then they went, and he enjoyed it. He's like, he didn't complain about the lack of stuff. He was like, it's a cool thing that you have Division I football here. And of course, we, growing up in Texas, it's a different culture. You just show up because you like football, whether your team is winning or not. That is just something that you do. And for him, he just showed up. He's like, man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the Division I football live. It's a great experience. And so, it's just going to take a lot of work to get people to change their mind. And like you said, some people are not going to be open to that. They're going to take offense, and things are going to get rowdy. But man, definitely, whoever wants to show up, that needs to show up in a consistent basis. And as far as coaches, man, guys, I don't know if we need that name that we're familiar with, or if we go that route where there's a guy we never heard of that might turn into something. And so, man, that's kind of like I'm up in the air about that. I'm not quite sure what's going to make. Do we need to make a splash? It's different. Football is different. There's a lot of newer guys that are coming up. Like the guy that got the Mississippi State job. I've never heard of him, but who knows? He might be good. Brian Vinston, what he's done with the offense. That might be a guy that maybe we look at. I mean, it's going to be an interesting hire for Eddie. And I was sad that that Danny was let go just because of the type of person that he is. I mean, he even remembered my name all the time. He just remembered people, and so that's going to be just difficult to replace as far as his character. But of course, just the wins weren't there, and man, I sure wish that they'd win more. But I mean, I remember the San Jose State game. After that game, all those. The staff was leaving, and they were hugging Sandra, and man, it almost felt like a funeral. So right there, to me, I was thinking, man, this is not going to be good towards the end of the year. But I mean, here we are. We keep moving forward, and let's see what happens, and we hope for the best.
It's a good call, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
That's what a former producer on our show sounds like. I don't know if he's got an MBA, but
I was hanging out with him on the sideline.
Good dude, huh?
He is. It's a very interesting perspective.
Yeah. Your guy's back in. He says, you say you don't take shots at us, as we're only talking sports, and sports needs facilities. The NMSU proof shows sports needs performance. Yet the UNM proof shows what a program needs is undue hype and influencers to handle their losing performance. Okay.
Who's hyping them up? They just fired their coach. We're talking about a new coach, a team that won 11 games over the last 4 years. The challenges with the job, we just talked about the strengths and weaknesses. And you took a shot at us in your text message, like, deal with it, put your big boy pants on if you want to have a conversation, and let's go. Yeah. And if you don't want to invest money in facilities, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not some, like, self-serving, overhyped interest. It's the discussion. That should be one of the biggest things in this city, in this state, is Division I football. Look at what's going on with New Mexico State, to your point. But they're not just going to sit back and say, we're not going to invest in facilities. Jerry Kill also took that job because they needed with going, you're going to fix our locker room.
They're breaking ground on a new locker room, yes.
In the locker room.
Yeah.
So don't sit there and act like they've done nothing and they won 10 games.
And their facility is still antiquated.
If they don't improve, you know what? Jerry Kill's going to leave.
And he's made that very clear. He's made it very clear that what they need to improve for him to stay there. And so now, look, they're having a magical season. And it's what we were talking about earlier. Let's sustain that. I want to see sustainability. But what they're doing down there in a not great facility, is tremendous. They're having a great year.
You don't just sit back and go, "Oh, look, we won. We don't have to do anything."
I guess it's the answer. Well, see, you don't have to improve the facilities. They're winning with that coach and in that facility. He's demanded for him to stay, and he's got a list of and one of them, like that locker. Remember, was it 2 years ago? They couldn't be in it because there was no air conditioning, and the air was not up to state. Whatever. Yeah. So they will.
It's not. I'm not sitting here advocating for a brand new stadium. But it's things you got to work on, and some of the things it is behind the scenes. It's like building that new weight room for student athletes. They just redid the weight room at the pit for basketball. It's little things like that along the line where you will eventually get to stuff for the fans to show up at. It's just progress.
Remember a few years ago when they bought new lockers? Remember when it was like,
and they're like, where'd the money come from?
It was
How much was it?
$250,000 or something like that for new lockers. And the reality was the Toad Diem was built right before I got here. So I want to say it's 28 years old. And so the lockers were 25 years old. Or it was the carpeting or the locker, whatever it was.
Lockers.
Okay. So the lockers had been there for a quarter of a century. And people were losing their mind. I'm like, well, wait, how often do you paint your house, man? Like, when was the last time you upgrade? Like, what do you got in your house that's a quarter of a century old? Do you replace the appliances? Do you replace the faucets? Do you replace, right, the fixtures? And think of the wear and tear that a locker room gets. And people lost their mind. Where'd the money come from? They don't have the money. Why do they need those? Old lockers were perfectly fine. It's upkeep. And I get it. If you don't want to put the money in, nobody's berating you. And if you're overly sensitive, that's fine. But if we have a different opinion, we're not doing the university's bidding.
There's no overhype. We're talking about the process moving forward. Can something be sparked? Can something happen within this fan base for football? Because obviously we're not good hype men if you look at the attendance the last couple.
Dan doesn't want to invest either. Dan doesn't want to, quote, invest in the program. Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Devontae Carlos. Here's the problem. Let's say Lobo football is 8-4 in the New Mexico Bowl. What's the first thing I'm going to hear from the usual suspects? We need to pay Danny. And he's going to want more cash for his staff. So even if you draw another 2,000 to 3,000 University Stadium, it's not covering the extra $500,000 plus salary expenses, let alone start generating extra that you can put into facilities. That's why we need to look at the big picture and make some tough decisions before we start throwing George Washies into the fire. It's from Dan. So what are the tough decisions, right? Is this another, we got to drop down to FCS guy? I mean, is that what the tough decision? That's not a decision. It's not on the table. As much as some of you want it to be on the table, it's not. Nor, in my opinion, should it be.
And if there's success and a coach asks for more money and you can't pay it and you go somewhere else, then you move on to the next one. What's so scary about that?
All right, 505-246-0610. You're ringing the phones. We'll get to them. I got two lines open. We'll hit them when we get back. I know you got thoughts on the facilities and how to do this thing and spend more money or don't. Somehow you're going to get better if you don't invest more. And I need somebody to explain that to me. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
You ready, Sal? You ready?
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez. This is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of ND Safety. ND Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. ND Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers, underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program with the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She's been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They've been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
.610, the Sports Animal.
All right. Keep them coming. I know everybody's got opinions, right? And other opinions are legit. We can differ. I respect yours. We respect ours. JJ's different than yours. Ken, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Ken.
Hello, good morning. So my personal opinion about it is there has to be some type of buzz in this community about Lobo football.
Yep.
For this to move forward on any public financing whatsoever. There has to be some very, very obvious benefits to the non-sports fans to get that support out of Santa Fe. You just can't have us, the callers and people that love Lobo football and Lobo athletics to say, hey, you got to invest, you got to invest. We all get that. But to have this move forward, if I don't know the details, but did I hear right that Nunes did not pay the buyout out of UNM money? It actually came from a private donor.
He said it was private, yeah.
Yeah, so that tells me the UNM, obviously that's a good move by UNM, but I wonder, is that because they didn't have the money or what? So it just kind of makes you question, all this investment of this and that. If we can't afford to pay out, the coach $350,000, I don't think we have any money whatsoever to pay for new facilities. So where does that money come from? And you can't do that when you have a losing program, over a few decades. People, when they voted at the ballot box for the United Soccer Stadium, that thing got trounced. And I feel bad because I live in Sandoval County. I wasn't able to vote for that. But all the bonds for the libraries, for everything, passed, no problem.
Yep.
But when it came to a sports facility, it got trounced.
Well, I think that was also bad. It was written poorly. It was undefined. That was a very, very vague thing. Here's $50,000. Go do what you want with it. Essentially, there were no details to that one.
Yeah, but I just think when there's no buzz behind a team, behind a particular football team, it's pretty much not bad news because there is no scandal, like you said, and that's good. But the losing gets exhausting.
Yeah.
People just get tired.
So how do you get better? It's a chicken or the egg.
I
thing,
think it's a really good point. What you're bringing up is that's what we're trying to talk about.
Right.
Is how do you present this as an overall thing that if you're going to do it, how do you do it?
You have to win. Now would be a great time. If we were in New Mexico State shoes right now, and we were the Lobos, and we beat Auburn, and just did the things that they were doing, you're creating a buzz in the community. You can really start saying, okay, let's see the power of that that buzz, everything goes viral in this world nowadays. If your sports team goes viral, that's going to reach up to Santa Fe. That's going to reach up to donors. That's going to reach to far reaches of the state. But if you're not going to get any money for a team that keeps losing, keeps firing their coach, UNM rebuilt the pit. Rebuilt it in a way that is too small to host any NCAA games ever. That makes me wonder, does UNM even know what they're doing? I know that was a long time ago, and I know that was previous administrations. But I'm thinking, okay, well, we need to be pretty smart how we go about this if it ever is created that buzz. And
I think that's right, Ken. Let's do it the right way. And if it gets to that point, and I appreciate the call. I want to get a few more in, but I appreciate you. No, what it's a chicken and the egg. So he says win first and then get it. Somebody on the text line says when you win, you can start demanding things. Danny couldn't demand anything because he was losing, and it's hard. What comes first. And now you look at what's going on at New Mexico State, and as Grady texted me, remind your texter that NMSU has only been good for 2 years, and you can bet your ass that they're going to improve those facilities. So that's exactly what Ken's saying, and I'll bet they're going to get more legislative money than they may have in the past because there's a buzz around New Mexico State. And exactly what Ken's saying. They're going to get some money because, hey, people are talking about them. There's a buzz, and they'll improve their facilities.
Absolutely. And I totally understand that point. But you can't do is not try to do something from UNM's perspective. Because if you just sit back and wait, then
you're going to get passed.
The harsh reality is you're never going to get improvements.
Al, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Hello, Al.
Hi. I think UNM Lobo fans should not try to compare themselves to other programs. Don't compare yourselves to New Mexico State or Georgia or Alabama or Notre Dame. We are used to winning. UNM has a really nice logo. Be proud. I'm out.
Thank you. Okay. Comparisons, I think at some point you have to make a comparison to your peer institutions and what you're doing investment-wise, facility-wise. And look, there was a time, and I'm going to tell you about, 8-10 years ago, we were running this bowl game, and people came in and were like, wow, they have pretty nice facilities, right? The indoor was nice, and the Toadium was nice, right? I mean, and 10 years ago, even you were on par. Everybody else is accelerating.
And part of that, too, it's not just Lobo football, but there is a bowl game that's been in that stadium for how many years now?
18
years. And it's things like even visiting locker rooms to provide a better experience for teams coming in and out. And that can help when you're talking about the conversation not getting left behind in conferences of teams going, oh, yeah, we'll keep them along because...
Because what?
Yeah. Also, can you get more events there? Is there something where... I know it's never going to happen, but a high school football state championship, things like that, it's the overall process. And to kind of Ken's point, you're having to discuss, all right, if you're just focused on wins and losses, then it's not going to go anywhere if we're talking about how to improve the program overall.
Gopher wants to know, can any coach do it? Jeff, I thought Bob Davie was awesome, but the excuse was he lived in Scottsdale and I wasn't out in the community. So Lobo Athletics hired a coach that was just the opposite. And the damn fans still didn't go to games. It's from Gopher. It's a hard job. Can it be done? I think I've seen it done. I mean, Fran won to a point. Rocky won relatively consistently, at least competitively. Bowl eligible for 7 years in a row. I mean, would you like to be bowl eligible 7 years in a row around here right now?
Yes.
Can it be done? I think so. 505-246-0610. We'll wrap it up, get you everything you got to know going through your day, and any other correspondence you've got. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite topics. find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on the streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back and moved there. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oakey, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Seagulls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find the booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez. This is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of ND Safety. ND Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. ND Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe.
The Sports Animal.
All right, big day and so much going on. And look, I love the opposing thoughts and the good thoughts. Everybody, you're not wrong when you say we got to be smart, we got to be cautious. My opinion, I think it's the wrong opinion to say we just flat out should not invest in the stadium and in the facilities. If you think that's the wrong, I'm okay with that too.
And I get from a fan standpoint, if you've been sitting there beaten down year after year after year, not seeing wins, when we're having this conversation about money coming into UNM athletics, why you sit there and just feel like you guys are dumb. Why are we even having this conversation? So I get that, but it's one that you have to have if you're going to play athletics, and Division I athletics is still the most high-profile thing in this state for New Mexico State. And it comes to sports.
And football is key. And I know this bothers people, and Jeff sent me this text, said football is the biggest revenue producer among college sports. No surprise. It's football. College football brings in an average of $31.9 million per school per year, according to the financial website Zax.com. Okay, it's an eye-popping number, but it's even more impressive when you see that number is more than the next 35 sports combined. So he says for your callers who want to drop football, CBS and Yahoo Finance said a large portion of that revenue comes from TV deals. ESPN's deal to broadcast the college football playoff is worth roughly $470 million annually. Power 5 conference TV contracts bring in at least $200 million a year, according to On3.com. So the average D1 football school brings in $31.8 million. Average D1 basketball brings in $8.1 million. 74% of your money comes from football. Now look, is it skewed? Yeah, Texas brings in $144 million with football. If the average is $31 million, and I don't think UNM's getting $31 million. But we know football is the engineer, even at UNM. He said in 21-22, Lobo Sports around $48 million annual budget. Basketball's $15 to $16 million. Football's $10 to $12 million. Wow, I didn't know that's what they spent. And UNM was $300,000 in the black with a losing football program. You drop football, how are you making up $10 to $12 million? So we'll get where we got to get. Hopefully. All right, what do you got to know as you go through your day? Bears beat the Vikings last night 12 to 10. Tiger's going to return. Tiger Woods said today that the intense pain in his right ankle and foot are gone. He had fusion surgery. And on Thursday, that's in 2 days, Tiger Woods, y'all, scheduled to make his first start since the third round of the Masters back in April. He hosts the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas. Kind of something to look forward to, huh?
Absolutely. Tiger back on the golf course, always a big time event.
Yep. LeBron James set the NBA mark past Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the most minutes played in a career, and the Lakers lost by 44. 46? 44. 38 and 6.
They lost by 44 points. It was the largest loss of his career.
138-94 was the number they lost in Philadelphia last night. And so that's what you get. Tomorrow we get Lobo basketball. Men are at home. What's the next women's game?
Tonight, 7 o'clock, Pitt, Eastern Illinois in town.
Right here. JJ's got work to do
Sports
tonight.
Animal.
I guess I should have known that, for crying out loud. And so tonight, women's basketball.
There's been a lot going on.
I got a lot going on. It became that time of year, and it became that time of year really, really, really quickly. The Jerry Kill conversation was good today, too. If you missed that, and a lot of you are still hitting me on the Danny Gonzalez conversation that we had yesterday, all of that's on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive, or wherever it is you get your podcast. Just put in the opening drive, and that's there. Eddie Nunez from yesterday, Danny Gonzalez from yesterday. Jerry Kill today is the Aggies are getting set to play for a conference championship at the Conference USA Championship. Have you looked at the spread on that? Do you know what it is?
Liberty 9.5.
Did you look at that? I haven't looked at it. Or do you know what it is? What do you think it is, DC?
I know now. So
okay, it's Liberty -10. I gotta take the Aggies and the points on that. I don't know that they're gonna go and put. I mean, for crying out loud, they've won 8 in a row. Games that the Auburn game just solidified me that they're a good team, not just some cute little team that that people just want to hate on because, well, this is on the text line. Jerome couldn't even remember who was in New Mexico State's feared conference, LOL. All the D2 move-ups, no wonder. Fun fact, NMSU's 10 wins came against teams who were combined 42 and 77. Wobble on, LOL. Look at Lobo fan just doing all that research. All right. And then they're 10-3. And they're playing for a conference championship, and they beat you, and they beat Auburn, and I mean, I don't know. You want them to apologize? You want them to go in the SEC? Did they turn down an invite to your conference?
It's
the Haterade.
grasping at straws because there's no NCAA tournament resume where you go, oh, that strength schedule stunk. Now they're playing for a conference championship. They're going to a bowl game. They're having fun.
It's such a bad look. That with all due respect. And again, I mean, you can whatever you think your point.
What happened when Lobos played Nevada?
And when that's supposed to be a win?
Or what happened? Like,
I don't want to.
Like, you don't want to start playing that game. No one's good enough in football yet, even with the Aggies winning 10 games, to be like, oh, we only beat these teams.
Nobody's telling you they should play in the Rose Bowl. Well, I shouldn't tell you. Nobody's telling me that.
Beat Liberty, Tulane loses. What happened?
You know what? If you beat Liberty until you're not. Who's the next?
UNLV loses.
Who's the next highest ranked conference champion? Are you telling me
there's a chance, Jeff?
I get. So Tulane might still get in at 11-2. I think they would be ranked higher than New Mexico State, but they wouldn't be conference champion. Would SMU then at 11-2? Probably, right? SMU's 25th right now, so SMU would get in, right? As the New Year's Six
they're
representative.
Not 25th in college football playoff poll.
No, they're in the poll. You're right. Well, you know what? I haven't even thought of that. The MAC champion is Toledo. If they lose to Miami, so you need a lot to move.
So then you'd be looking at some strength of schedule.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I guess there's a chance. You're telling me there's a chance. Fiesta Bowl, is that what you're saying? All right, I'll give you that one. If you want to, that's a better. All right, the payout's way bigger there. Give you that one. Thank you to Jerry Kill for being with us. That's available for you to listen to whenever you want over on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherds after that. 2 men on us here at 4 o'clock. JJ takes over the mic from the pit. It is Lobo women's basketball.
Eastern Illinois, 6:30 pregame.
We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work. DC, spectacular. Putting your MBA to work today. It's good work. I know it's a big day for you. Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How many drive you that man home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and the mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
José Mahad here, President of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Jr. Gonzalez, Warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of the construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle. There's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving the Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.